What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be reacting to Gameweek 1 in the Premier League. I'm going to compare what I thought was going to happen in the games compared to what actually happened in the games. So the season kicked off on Friday night, Burnley against Manchester City. I thought Manchester City were going to win, but I only thought it was going to be 2-1. They ended up winning 3-0 with Haaland scoring after 4 minutes. What a man, he's a machine. His second goal especially was very good. I think Burnley were expecting to get anything against the best team in the league. There were some positives though. They put some pressure on the Manchester City backline in the first half and actually got the ball a couple of times, but they just weren't able to really turn that into a clear-cut chance and weren't able to get many shots on target. Manchester City did what Manchester City were meant to do in this game, and yeah, they cruised through. However, Kevin De Bruyne injury, that's huge because Haaland is not as good when De Bruyne's not in the team, so we'll have to see. It's apparently going to be a 4-month injury. That could be a big blow. But yeah, again, Burnley, your season really kicks. Oh, they're not even playing actually on next weekend. So hopefully De Bruyne recovers quickly, but you know, Newcastle next to Man City, I don't think they win that. And I'm going to predict that in my next video, so stay tuned for that. Arsenal against Nottingham Forest. I thought Arsenal were going to blow Forest away. I predicted 5-1. Ended up only being 2-1. However, the scoreline makes it seem a much closer game than it actually was. Arsenal were definitely on top. I mean, I say they were on top. They had a lot of possession, didn't create too many clear-cut chances, but turned it up, made a couple saves. Forest goal was very good. Elanga came on, him and Awoniyi also came on, and they combined really well on the counter-attack. Awoniyi scored in 5 games in a row, going back to last season, so he's looking on fire. It's probably to be expected. Forest, I think, are going to do quite well this season, but I didn't think they had a chance at the Emirates, and they did a lot better than I thought they would. Bournemouth against West Ham. This was a very good side between two teams who I'm predicting to finish 10th and 11th. They both had chances. Bournemouth dominated the possession, however West Ham had just as many chances. Obviously Ward-Prowse didn't play, Edson Alvarez didn't play, so West Ham are going to get even better than this. Areola made a couple good saves, Paqueta hit the post quite late on, could have gone either way, ended up being a draw. I thought Bournemouth were going to take it 2-1, however I was evidently wrong. I mean, it wasn't too far off, Bournemouth could have won it, but West Ham also could have won it. Brighton against Luton, I said it was going to be 3-0, ended up being 4-1. I got the goal difference right, which I'll take. It's hard to get the exact score right. Brighton dominated, they had a lot more chances. I could have easily been 6 or 7, to be honest. Kaminski was busy. Luton's goal came off the back of a controversial penalty. Personally, I do think it was a penalty. Lewis Dunk's arm was quite far wide of his body. Brighton dominated. My boy Evan Ferguson got a goal as well, had an FPL team. Oh mate, I hate my FPL team, man. I should have used bench. I had 31 points sitting on my bench, man. I benched Isak, I benched Maddison, and I benched Akanji because I thought Manchester United were going to... we'll get onto them later, but I'm so pissed, man. But yeah, Brighton just picked up from where they were last season. Easy win from... To be expected again, Luton are going to be one of the weaker sides in the division. Everton, Fulham, I thought it was going to be a 1-1 draw. Fulham took it, but oh my God, this game, man. Everton was so good in this game. They just couldn't take their chances out of 4 or 5 clear-cut chances. Leno was fantastic. However, Everton scored and it got disallowed for a very controversial fact. It was, in my opinion, not a foul. Bernd Leno leans over a defender and drops the ball. The defender can't move. It's not his fault. It's Leno's fault. And the goal got chalked off, which it really shouldn't have. It was very much a hit and run by Fulham. It reminds me of what they did to Brighton last season when Brighton were all over and Manor Solomon got a goal in the last minute to win in the game. Everton need a striker desperately. Maupay is terrible. I can't believe he's still employed by a Premier League club. He's so bad. Fulham, I mean, I don't know if I'd say I'd be worried because Palhinha didn't play and Mitrovic only came on off the hour mark, and he's likely going to go now because Al Hilal have reignited their interest in him. I don't think Jimenez is going to cut it, so they might need to find another striker. Sheffield United against Crystal Palace. I thought Sheffield United were going to take it. Thought they'd win 2-1. They lost 1-0. Crystal Palace were by far the better side. Ebereeze was fantastic. Jefferson Lerma was fantastic. Roy Hodgson almost got into a scrap with Max Lowe. That was... he's still got a fire in his belly even at 76 years of age. Not too much to say on this game. Palace were by far the better side. Could have been a couple more, to be honest. Sheffield United have Hamer coming in, so it'll be interesting to see if they improve. But this was a game I felt they had to win, and they didn't. Newcastle against Aston Villa. This was probably game of the weekend in terms of entertainment. I predicted 2-0 Newcastle. 5-1 is what the score ended up being. And for anyone that didn't put Newcastle in the top 6 must be looking at this thinking, wow, I was so wrong. I put them in the top 3 because I have a brain up it, They will be in the top 3 at the end of the season, but I didn't expect them to look this good against another side who are expected to do very well. Isak's a machine. Gordon looks really good. Bruno Guimaraes and Sandro Tonali's first ever Premier League game. ran the show. What a signing, man. What a player. Defence, I mean, didn't really have to do too much. You know, Tonali could have had another goal. You know, Wilson and Barnes came on and played really well as well. They combined for a goal, and they could have probably combined for another 2. It could have either been 7 or 8. That's how good Newcastle were. The high line for Villa just did not work at all in this game, man. Yeah, you know, Newcastle ran ragged like I thought they would. I don't know why people have looked at the squad and thought they've got no depth. They've got enough players in that squad, especially in the attacking area. In the back, yes, they're a bit light. They've been linked with a couple left backs, which I do think they need. But going forward, they've got more than enough players. And Joel Linton as well, I didn't even mention him, he was fantastic. Like, what a team Newcastle are, man. I'm really happy to see him do well, because you know, Eddie Howe, like I said, I love the guy, man. He's the best manager in the league. Wishing Tyrone Mings a speedy recovery as well. The injury was really bad, and hopefully he can come back strong. Brentford against Tottenham. I thought it was going to be 3-1 Tottenham, ended up being 2-2. James Maddison again, what a player, man. What a signing he is. 2 assists in this game. I had him on my bench in my FPL. Basuma looks like the player they thought they got last season, but he hardly played under Conte. Udogie looks really good. Emerson Rowe in this sort of right-back midfield hybrid role was insane as well. Mickey van der Ven was very, very solid. He made a bit of a mistake with a deflection, but it's not really his fault. And overall, he bossed the defence. Romero got taken off after scoring because they thought he might have a concussion. And Davinson Sanchez came on and he did okay, but I definitely think that's an area Tottenham do need a bit more depth. But going forward, the front 3 weren't very good. Kulusevski was the best out of the 3, but again, he wasn't too involved. Richarlison and Son were both pretty much non-existent. Richarlison had 2 big chances he probably should have done a bit better with. And I think if Kane was in the position, he would have scored at least one of them. Maddison did really well to create them for him as well. It is hard to score, and Brentford have all 10 outfield players behind the ball and about 8 of them in the box. Like, Brentford look dangerous on the counter, but they're just so defensive, man. But overall, you know, I guess sometimes you have to do that against better sides, so they did what they had to do. I think Tottenham desperately need to get Gift Orban in. They need a striker. And currently, Richarlison isn't, I'm not sure, is a man for that. He might have to move on to the wing because Son just looks still just not on it. Like, he looked like the same player from last season, and that's just not a version of Son that is very good. Chelsea against Liverpool. I thought Chelsea were going to take it 2-1. It ended up being 1-1. But Chelsea were definitely the better side. Liverpool's midfield was very open. They used McAllister in that sort of 6 role, Gakpo and Szoboszlai, and it worked going forward. You know, they created some decent opportunities in the first half. Both sides of the goal disallowed for offside as well. So, you know, it could have gone either way. I thought Chelsea definitely deserved it. Jackson missed a couple chances. One of them he should have definitely scored from, when Reece James and Sterling, who kept combining in that first half. I don't rate Sterling at all, but both of them just kept giving Robertson hell down that Chelsea right-hand side. And especially Reece James, he put in some really good crosses, and Sterling linked up with him really well as well. Jackson should have scored. I can't believe he missed that chance. But yeah, Jackson looked direct. You know, he looked like he wanted to run out the defenders. He maybe needs to work on his finishing a bit. Gallagher was playing in sort of a number 6 role as well for Chelsea, you know, as a defensive midfielder. He did really, really well. He stopped multiple counter-attacks, like cleanly as well. And overall, you know, I don't understand why Chelsea are signing like 4 midfielders. Like, they don't need to. I get Caicedo. I don't really understand why they need Lavia as well. And obviously Elise is more attacking, but they're just throwing money for the sake of throwing money about. Liverpool were handed big L's in the transfer market. They managed to hang on to a draw, but they desperately needed number 6 as well, man, because that midfield was getting exposed. Now, both Chelsea thought Chilwell was also very good. I thought Colwell was good. Thiago Silva was good. Disasi, who got the Chelsea equaliser, was also very solid. For Liverpool, I thought Salah created some decent chances in the first half. Second half, he was just second half, the whole Liverpool attack was pretty much non-existent. Chelsea was just controlling. Enzo Fernandez was fantastic. To be honest, I was pretty impressed with Chelsea on the whole, and as much as I don't want to say it, they could genuinely push the top 4. So the way they control the game, they do need Jackson to start firing sooner rather than later. They don't want him to be like Havertz, you know. But to be fair, he was getting into better positions than Havertz was. He was also doing more than Havertz ever did last season. He was driving up players, you know, trying to create things. So overall, I wouldn't be worried if I was Chelsea. I should probably mention the penalty decision that went against Liverpool in that Chelsea game where Jackson sort of handled it. I didn't think it was a penalty personally. It was on his, like, you know, he didn't have his arms wide. He wasn't in that unnatural position really, but his arms were on his body. It's not a penalty for me. The final game, Monday Night Football, Manchester United against Wolverhampton Wanderers. I thought Manchester United were going to win 5-0. I captained Rashford in my FPL. I had Mason Mount as vice captain. I had Luke Shaw in there. how, I mean, they won 1-0, and I'm the biggest Wolves hater in the world. And I can honestly say Wolves were fantastic in that game. They created a lot of chances. They still have the issue of not being able to finish them off. But it is promising that they're actually able to create them now, because last season they just did not do that. Or they were so boring, they were so negative all the time when they spent 100 mil. You know, they were just parking the bus every game. This season looks like Gary O'Neill ain't going to stand for that. They were attacking. Mateus Nunes was very good. I thought Semedo was very good. Mateus Cunha was decent as well. Lamina was good. Ait Nouri wasn't bad either. Like, you know, the whole team, Neto, you know, he looked good again. Manchester United, but Casemiro, what the fuck? I don't want to ever see that man compared to Rodri again, man. He was shocking. Mason Mount and Bruno Fernandes, I don't think can play together. In, you know, like, they both want to be further forward. They need Amrabat in as soon as possible. Garnacho was awful. Rashford didn't even know who was on the pitch. Lisandro Martinez was so bad. He had to get taken off at half time. He's the butcher. Oh my god, he was terrible. Overall, Onana was very good. He made some big saves. But Wolves were also, not only did they deserve to win the match through their own performance, but they were also robbed of a penalty in the last minute. Onana smacked someone in the head, bruv. It's a clear penalty. How is that not given? I hate Wolves. Yeah, I was laughing because I was like, yes, it's not been given. But that's just because I hate him. Honestly, I cannot believe that wasn't given. And it is a serious issue that was not given. They got an apology. The officials who were there aren't going to be allowed to ref for the next weekend. What's that going to do, man? They're going to do it again the next time they're there, or the next lot will do. Manchester United and Liverpool get so many lucky VAR decisions every single season. It's unreal, man. But honestly, to be fair, you know, I'm less confident in Wolves going down now, which I'm really sad to say. They actually might stay up because they did play well. You could also just argue if Manchester United look like a bunch of amateurs out there. Like, to be fair, I saw Anthony getting slandered quite a lot, and he wasn't great, but he was definitely not their worst player. There were I don't rate him at all, but there were a lot of players on that Manchester United team that were a lot worse than him. Yeah, he at least tried to get back and defend and stuff, which I can't say the same for Rashford, for example. I saw him lose a ball and just stand still and not do anything. It was embarrassing. Manchester United also had a penalty shout. Again, I didn't think it was a penalty because he sort of headed it straight at the Wolves defender. His arms, like the Chelsea one, were by his body. Not a penalty for me. However, that Onana one, he hit him so... He hit two players. Sancho came on and he looked really good, to be fair. Hopefully we're going to see him perform to the levels he was performing at Dortmund. Over Varane, he scored the goal. He was one of their better performers, him, Wan-Bissaka, like Onana. You know, they were decent. Luke Shaw wasn't too bad. Everyone going forward was absolutely dreadful, man. Like, they need to if they're going to make the top four, they need to step it up, because they're not making it playing like that every week. Let me know what you thought of the games, what you think of certain decisions. I can't believe there wasn't a penalty, man. If it was Manchester United who had that, it would have been a penalty. I mean, I think we all know that. The referees need to be held more accountable. We need to hear these decisions that go on. We need them to be mic'd up. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.